Hey guys and girls, today we're going to continue with our writing a narrative and adding details. We're going to start with our learning target. I can write a personal narrative story. Remember, a personal narrative story is a story that is about you. It is true, it is real, it is something that you currently do or something that has already happened to you, okay? So remember, it's not a made up story, it's not something that you hope might happen one day, it's something that you're already doing or that you've already done in the past, okay? So we have already chosen our topic ideas and we've already got it narrowed down to a small moment. We've already organized our story from beginning, middle, and end, and we're going to use our asking questions to help us take itsy bitsy small steps throughout our story. Remember, we are practicing and learning new strategies and new ways to add flavor to our writing, just like adding mustard or ketchup or ranch dressing, or look, I have all of these seasonings that when we're cooking that we might use to add flavor to our writing. Flavor to our food, excuse me. But today we're going to continue learning ways to bring our stories to life and ways to add flavor to our writing. One way that we've already talked about that you can add flavor to your writing is by taking itsy bitsy steps to tell who, what, when, where, why, and how. Now guys, remember, we've already organized our writing this way. If you missed this part, you need to go back and watch that video, but we've already organized our beginning with where and when, our beginning with who, because that's usually what happens in the beginning of the story. You need to know where and when the story is taking place and who is in the story. The middle of your story is going to include what happened, why it happened, and your ending is going to include how you felt afterwards, okay? So we've already started using our itsy bitsy small steps to help us with that. The next thing we learned about was this one, our ketchup, and this was unfreezing your people, bringing your people to life. You can make them move through your pictures. You can make them talk through speech bubbles. I want you to not only start adding these speech bubbles into your pictures, but I want you to start including dialogue into your actual story. Dialogue is the exact words that your characters say, and usually they're inside of quotation marks. We're not going to worry a lot with quotation marks right now, but if you want to go ahead and include quotation marks around the exact words that your characters say, you go ahead and do that. So this is one way we can bring our stories to life, and one way we can add flavor to our writing is to unfreeze our people. Now, when I wrote last time with you guys, I was over here on my what page, and remember, I'm writing a story about the time that I tripped at the gym and twisted my ankle. So here I am, and I was lifting weights right before it happened, and I've added some little move lines to my writing. Right here, this is where I fell off the bench, and I put some little move lines to let you know that I was falling. So go ahead and add that into your pictures. Make sure you include those details in your writing as well. I accidentally placed my foot down on the leg of the bench. My ankle twisted and I fell to my knees. Let's give some more details about me falling, okay? Because that's going to bring this story to life for you guys that were not there. It could help you visualize what it looked like when I actually fell off and twisted my ankle, okay? So I accidentally placed my foot down on the leg of the bench. My ankle twisted and I fell to my knees. Okay, so let's think, what did I do when I fell? I jumped up, as quickly as I could, hoping no one saw me. You know, when you embarrass yourself when you fall, or if something happens that's not really supposed to happen, you know, that kind of embarrasses you. So I didn't really want anybody to see me, but then guess what happens? Somebody who was exercising at the same time as me saw me, and he said, "Jess, are you okay?" So guess what? Someone did see me. Is that okay? Yes. Can I include that detail into my story? Yes, and I'm going to do that now. Remember, this is bringing your story to life. I jumped up as quickly as I could, hoping no one saw me. A man working out did see me and asked. And these are the quotation marks that I was telling you guys about. There are two little lines that go before the words that people say and after the words that they say. So he asked, Jess, are you all right? And I'm going to put quotation marks around that because that's what he said, okay? Now, today's bit of flavor is going to be bringing the inside out. And I've got my salad dressing here, my ranch. We all love ranch dressing because it adds so much good flavor to our vegetables and to our salads. But today we're going to practice adding this flavor to our writing. Bringing the inside out makes people feel and think. And when you do that, you can show the expressions on their face in your drawings. You can give think bubbles in your drawings. We already talked about that a little bit last week. And you can put those thoughts actually into your story, into the words. So we're going to start working on this. So you remember up here, I said, I jumped up as quickly as I could, hoping no one saw me. I was thinking that. I didn't say that out loud. I was thinking that. I was hoping that no one saw me. Well, guess what? I can come up here to my picture and add a think bubble. And I could put in it how I hope no one sees me. So I'm going to put a big think bubble right here. And I'm going to say, I hope no one sees me. So I've got a think bubble. Back here on my what page, I actually put a think bubble right here. This because I was thinking as we were working out, I was sweating so hard and I was thinking, this is so tough. So I was already getting tired. Okay. So let's read it one more time. Remember, good readers always go back and reread because they can find mistakes. They can see if they didn't want to add anything in. So I accidentally placed my foot down on the leg of the bench. My ankle twisted and I fell to my knees. I jumped up as quickly as I could, hoping no one saw me. A man working out did see me and asked, Jess, are you all right? And I'm going to keep going. Now, I'm out of space over here at the bottom of this page, but it's okay. Even though this is my how page, I'm going to go ahead and continue finishing up my why over here on the how page. That's okay. You can do that too, okay? Don't stress out if you run out of space at the bottom. Move on to the next page, and then when you finish saying what you have to say, you can continue with your how. So after this man asked, Jess, are you all right? I'm going to put in the exact words that I said. I quickly nodded and told him. And I'm going to put quotation marks again because that's the words that I'm saying. Yes, I'm okay. Now, really, my ankle still really hurt it. Still hurt really, really bad. So I just didn't want anyone to worry about me while we were exercising. We were in the middle of the workout, and I was already embarrassed for falling. So I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. Well, you don't know that unless I tell you that in my story. So I'm going to add that in here. I quickly nodded and told him, yes, I'm okay. My ankle still hurt really badly, but I didn't want to cause any extra I didn't want it to cause any extra attention to myself. My ankle still hurt really badly, but I didn't want to cause any extra attention to myself, so I kept exercising. Okay, now, as you can tell, we have already made it to the how page. We're getting towards the end of our story because we want to tell them, how I felt or what happened after, how it ended, how the event ended. So I quickly nodded and told him, yes, I'm okay. My ankle still hurt really badly, but I didn't want to cause any extra attention to myself, so I kept exercising. And guys, remember, after I've got my notes up here, I've already talked about how I was embarrassed. I've already talked about how it hurt, and I've already added to my story how I kept exercising. But since those are just my notes that we jotted down, I can go ahead and erase that because now I want to draw my picture to go here. So remember, this is the page where I've already fallen down over here on this page. So this page needs to show me hopping up and saying that I'm okay. So I'm going to draw the little ground here. I'm going to, here's me with my little messy bun. I'm not 100%, so I'm not going to put me a little smile right there. And here's the bar. Here's that bench that I fell off right here. So I hop back up. So I'm going to draw some motion lines to let you know I'm hopping back up. And I run back over here to my spot. But remember, I want to add my speech bubbles to bring my people to life, to bring myself to life, actually. Yes, I'm okay. That's what I said. Okay, after I hopped up. Okay, now I just noticed over here on my Y page that I went ahead and written my story about stepping on the bench of the leg while I'm getting off, and I didn't erase it. So I'm going to go ahead and erase my little notes right there because we just want to have our pictures up here. So if you have forgotten to erase your little notes, go ahead and do that too. All right, we're going to end right there today. You're going to have time today and tomorrow to practice part 3 of adding details to your story. Remember, today we are working on bringing the inside out, making people think and feel, using those thinking bubbles, or putting the exact thoughts into your story. I also want you to remember to, from last week, unfreeze your people, make them move. You can put those movement lines in your drawings. You can give them speech bubbles to make them talk. And also add the exact words that they say in your story. That's important. And then also another review, which we've already done this really well. I think if you've organized your book the way that I have, you've already done this. This is what's going to help us take itsy bitsy small steps, setting your story up, using these asking words: who, what, when, where, why, and how. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I hope you guys have a super good afternoon and happy writing.